Hello, everybody. It's Mark Johnson at Guaranteed Rate, and just wanted to take a few moments to recap the interest rates for the last week. So last week we saw interest rates just plummet um, because, or were plummeled, I guess is the word I'm looking for, because we saw that numbers were stronger as far as unemployment numbers were stronger than what they anticipated. And a lot of those numbers were based on part-time job creations. And so it's kind of not a real number that, the Federal Reserve, I'm sure they're smart enough to take into account, but still the numbers show still a very strong employment outlook for the U.S. economy. And so until that starts to come back a little bit, then you're going to see probably interest rates stay high for a while. The second thing is this later on this week, so Wednesday the 12th, we'll be seeing the consumer price index come out. Now that index is one that the Fed doesn't pay as much attention to as the producer price index, which comes out on Thursday. The consumer price index last month was at 4%, and this month they feel like the market's feeling like it'll come down to 3.1%, which is a good thing. And then the producer price index last month was 5.3%, and they're thinking that's going to come down to 5%. All that should be good for the Fed, but they're still going to go and probably raise interest rates another 0.25% by July 26th, and then probably another 0.25% in August. And that's just based on the Fed minutes that came out last week. It's just showing the Federal Reserve is just really hawkish on things. So let's take a look and see really what's happened to rates here. Let me just click on this here. So last week we were 6.71 was the average interest rate by the Freddie Mac survey that they do across the nation. And so that's been going, kind of up and then a little bit down. But then, the last couple of weeks, last 3 weeks at least, it's gone up quite a bit. But I think the telltale sign is going to be when we look at the market. So let's look at the bond market. So I want to just take a minute and just show you here the bond market. This is losing money on mortgage bonds. So in other words, investors, if they're losing money on it, then they're going to raise rates, right? And so when this goes down, the cost of a 5% or a 6% mortgage bond security is not as worth as much it is when it's a lot higher, like when it was here. So we saw that last Thursday and Friday were really horrible days. I mean, we kind of had this little bouncing area right here that we've seen, but then Thursday and Friday came those reports, and then today we're just up a little bit. We're kind of back to where we were on Thursday. So interest rates are still going to be a little bit higher this week than next week. Let me just show you the 10-year treasuries here. You'll see the 10-year treasuries have just gone up. You saw that Friday or Thursday they just shot up, and that's because the Federal Reserve is still hawkish on the inflation and mortgage rates. So bottom line here is, would you prefer to lock or would you float, right? I think right now, I always tell people to lock, but right now maybe I would be carefully floating. If your mortgage professional is watching the bond market like I do, which is this chart right here, not this one right there, then they kind of have an idea of what's going to happen to interest rates. And I subscribe to a service by Barry Habib called MBS Highway, and they've always been right on and calling it because they're a lot smarter than I am. But they give me so much insight of what's going to happen to interest rates. And so I really feel that until we break out of this area right through here above this line there, I feel like maybe we should float a little bit. And if things happen to get worse, well, you could lock in now. And if rates got better between now and the time that you, go to close, many times, many lenders, of which we do, we will do a renegotiation of a rate for you if it's more than 0.25% lower at the time you get ready to close. Anyway, I hope that helps. Hope you have a great week. It's a tough market out there. It's hot outside, and home prices are still inching up, and buyers are starting to come out of the woodwork to buy, and we're seeing some multiple offers. So don't get discouraged. Keep on buying. It's a great time to do it. So anyway, I hope this helped. Have a great day.